Quick disclaimer. Should we comment on the author of a fanfiction, we are simply using context clues based on the content of the fanfiction being read. These comments are speculative and not meant to be insulting or judgmental towards the author. Similarly, any statements or opinions read as part of the fanfictions do not necessarily represent the values of the hosts. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pick a Fic. This is the world's #1 fanfiction podcast. I am Jason, and with me is my brother Mike.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. I was literally just editing episode 58, which my April Fool's Blindside has been wild because we've lost most of the recording footage.
It's half most.
It's most.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just half.
No, it was most.
That's
we
annoying.
really weren't recording until we found out that it stopped recording. So I had to
right. I don't. Okay. Yeah. That was the important bit. That's when we created the magnificent character of Flubrongle.
If you don't know what we're talking about, watch episode 58. So yeah,
I don't think you need any context for someone called Flubrongle.
Otherwise, it's been going pretty good. Mario movie comes out.
We're gonna see it a week from today on next Monday.
Yeah, I
allegedly.
I wish we could see it on opening night, but
we could. We'd be paying. How much money would that cost? And then how much money would the second ticket cost? And 40, then the potential third ticket.
$40+. That's not even including like drinks and
then I have to buy the 4K. You know,
So it's like
I gotta get my boy Yoshi in 4K.
I gotta stay off of Blue Sky for a while. I can't be getting spoilers. I don't know if it's gonna be a spoil heavy movie, honestly. They already gave us all the spoilers.
The Star Fox tease, which I would have wanted to see that live, in the theater.
We know Wart's gonna be in it.
Yeah, they revealed
Wart
and Birdo on the poster. So it's they didn't say oh, Birdo's in this movie. It's just she's on the poster.
Yeah,
I was literally looking at the poster. I saw her. I'm like, oh yeah, Birdo's it. Wait, Birdo's it?
No.
Did they reveal that? I was really confused. But
I'm so crazy that
there's random characters on the poster that are
Wart has not been in a Mario game or
a
Mario anything.
Cameos, but I
was playing Paper Mario Color Splash. Good segue. Playing Paper Mario Color Splash. And yeah, they mentioned they mentioned Wart. A Toad's I had a nightmare where a guy named Wart was taking over the Mushroom Kingdom or something, and I'm like, this is 2016, so this is when people were remembering about the old Nintendo stuff. So yeah, but yeah, so I've been playing Paper Mario Color Splash. I'm a lot farther than when I was before. I'm having fun with it. It's a 7 out of 10. I'm having fun with it. Is it anywhere near the quality of the N64 or GameCube game? No, absolutely not. But I'm having more fun with it than Super Paper Mario, which is I know that's a very controversial thing to say.
I don't think it's controversial. I think it's divisive, I guess. Some people will think it is, some people won't.
I guess. I did not like the combat in Super Paper Mario. It was just as long as your number was up, you won. It didn't matter. There's literally no strategy about it. It was just it was just a platformer essentially with an RPG mechanic. It wasn't an actual RPG. Here it's okay, yeah, you have the cards. You have to, every time you go into a battle, you have to look at the gamepad. You have to pick what card you want, which is what action you're going to do. You have to fill in if it's blank, you have to fill it in with paint, and then you have to flick it up to the screen, and then you can attack.
Huh.
So
games that make basic things complicated are really annoying to me.
Yeah, and this is Sticker Star was just that, except it was just stickers. And it was actually a lot quicker because all you had to do was just choose which sticker you want to use as an attack, and then you went. You didn't have to look at the gamepad, fill in with paint, and then flick it up. Like, it's just so annoying. You can't even use a D-pad or anything. You have to use a touchscreen. You have to use your finger. It's just like
it's just the meme where it's just like, please look at the Wii U gamepad, and it's Bob the Tomato.
Yes,
angrily looking
I think
down.
about that every time I do it. I think about the stupid GIF, or like just like Donkey Kong. Look at the Wii U gamepad. The Bowser saying it like.
But
yeah,
we're supposed to be talking about movies this time. Games is you.
Oh yeah.
You even reminded me before we started that we.
But for some
movies,
reason, I thought I was doing it today.
Even though I had.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Your blindside threw you so far off. What movies now? Now I gotta.
Crap. Dang, I feel stupid now.
We
would like to play.
We would like to play. So we talked about Mario movie, but we were still going through Disney. We watched the single most important movie ever released, Frozen. That's not even an exaggeration. I think I think culturally in my lifetime that is the single most important movie to ever release. Maybe not important, impactful. The single most impactful movie to ever release. It's pretty good. I'm very happy to say it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I wish I could say it's the best movie ever made because of its reputation, but at least it's not terrible. Like some popular movies that I can't think of right now, because why would I be able to do that? I don't know. I don't want to talk about Frozen because everybody knows about Frozen.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Planes, Fire, and Rescue.
Wow.
We did watch the next Tinkerbell movie, but it's another Tinkerbell movie.
Okay, I mean there were some funny things about
There's the
it.
drugs.
Oh yeah,
they're just making
drugs.
meth and cocaine and
they like they actually have like a hook. And it voiced by Tom Hiddleston, which was just like, I'm glad that we found that out before like we got too far in the movie, because it was just so funny just to hear him like try, like, because he actually did a good job, which is weird.
He was putting more effort into it than like the recurring cast. It was really funny.
Yeah.
Also, like Tinkerbell barely speaks in this.
Yeah,
one.
she took the back seat this time. I just
realized that, which is fine because like. Every movie is just like, oh, Tinkerbell has friends. Anyway, moving on.
I think at this point they were trying to focus more on like the Fairyland, like
Neverland,
or like the
Pixie
Neverland.
Hollow.
Yeah, Pixie.
Okay, well,
that's
it was Neverland, but then they kind of changed it to be Pixie Hollow. But it's also still Neverland.
I think it's just a place in Netherland.
I was gonna say, yeah, maybe the city is Pixie. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, okay.
That makes more sense.
I think they're just trying to focus more on
And you also have to remember, we're at this point, one show had come out. So we're missing some context at this point.
Oh, yeah.
And then by the time we watch the next movie, we'll be missing context from a second show.
Yeah.
So
so like we found that Hook, which is in it. I mean, they don't do a good job of hiding it. It's pretty obvious that it's Hook. And we were just
it was obvious to everyone but me.
So it was because you.
I wasn't even thinking that this could be like that wasn't on my mind at all. I'm just like, oh, random pirates, and then so I think you were just like, and that's obviously Hook, and I'm like, oh wow, it is.
Well, they were just like, okay, so which one is Smee then?
I don't want to get it.
Oh, you don't? What?
It's just me talking again.
It's the funniest thing.
There were two characters. Long story short, there were two characters that we were trying to go back and forth, like which one is Smee, which one is it, and eventually we just gave up. We're just like, I don't think Smee's in this movie. Like, he can't be in this movie. And I think I made the joke just like, nah, he'll be in the end credits scene or something. And then he was in the end credits scene.
And then he was in the end credits
with a different art style, but the same voice actor from like, probably, what was the last? Return to Neverland.
Yeah. It was pretty spot on. So
whoever they did it.
Yeah, I just thought that was the funniest thing ever. Like, I tried trying to interpret who was Smee. Nobody could have been Smee, but we were like, it's gotta be
all of the pirates
someone.
that weren't Hook were literally one-off characters for this movie.
Yeah,
so it's like
it's so weird. Like,
I was expecting it to be like the crew. This is the
yeah.
Hook crew, and he's like, like, oh, we have to get revenge on these fairies now,
Right.
for taking our dust.
It's so stupid that you just like, oh, we don't need you because like I mean the pirate fairy is the one that's like leading them. It's like she's a captain and like, oh, we don't need you anymore after she revealed that they can just make infinite pixie dust. But it's just like you just set yourself up for failure. Like why? Why not just have her still be the captain? I
It's
don't.
not going to do anything. Like,
Yeah. It just makes no sense. That was
at least not immediately. Like, wait till you're in a position where you can
Right, when
properly
you
like deal with it. Instead, they just
already-
like flick her into a lamp.
when you already left Netherland. Then you
Yeah,
could
do that, and then that way the fairy can't get back and
Yeah.
gather friends. But
But-
anyway, then we watched Planes Fire and Rescue. Our pleasantries are already getting a bit long, so I'll just say it's not good.
Yeah.
It's all. I'd say it crosses the line of being offensive to the people it's trying to honor by making the main character insufferably bad and like not a good person, but he gets all that he wants. He like doesn't have to work to be a firefighter. He just gets it. Like they just hand it to him for free for doing one good deed out of like 10 failed, like objectively bad attempts and like proven insubordination.
Yeah.
So like basically it's like the first movie where,
Yeah.
like, he's
I
not
can't
able to
believe-
do the thing until someone just happens to let him do the thing, and then everyone just kind of shifts the honor onto him, even though it wasn't him. Like it was the helicopter guy. He was the hero of the
Yeah.
movie, but they don't say that. They say that it was Dusty Crop Hopper.
And like literally Dusty Crop Hopper almost gets him killed. Like
He almost-
and everyone's like, "Oh no, it's not your fault." Yes, it was. It was
literally
like
your fault.
he 100% his fault.
Literally.
But no, it's not his fault.
But it's not his fault. Also, they play like the entire AC/DC Thunderstruck song, like the entire thing. It's the whole song, just in the background. That was interesting, but we want to know what's more interesting. Sonic Riders many years later
Yes.
by Nastories. We're back. We took a break from my last podcast with a bunch of random Pac-Man things, which was fun. But
That was a lot of
I've
fun.
been really
It was
raring to go.
Pain to edit,
I can't imagine.
but it was fun.
At least you only had to take one screenshot per fanfiction.
Yeah, that was a plus, but it was just so. I had to go in the like do and also providing the links for all the fanfic. Yeah, it was just
Putting them in order.
yeah.
I didn't even double check if you had them in order. I'm just like, yeah, I'm just gonna trust them on this one. So where we left off, we'd finished the third prologue chapter. The Babylon's Zeppelin. Okay, so let me think. Let me try and remember the story so far. So they're about to start a race. Wave and Tails have a little bit of an interaction, which this is a Wales. Actually, yeah, this is a Wales fan fiction. That is their couple name from now on. They had like one interaction, but the entire rest of prologue 1 was like what was it, like not gum? What were they getting stuck in?
Okay, yeah, Vector was chewing bubble gum, and then it reacted with something else and exploded, and
everyone's sticky.
But they call it jelly though.
Oh
It
yeah,
wasn't
jelly.
gum.
So they're covered in jelly, and then like someone also spills soda everywhere or something like that.
Well, Tails was like Wave gave Tails a soda, and then
But it was like shaking.
yeah, it was shaking.
Yeah,
so
great.
like everyone's running into each other and
Everyone's just being
tripping
goofballs.
over everyone. It was like.
And then prologue 2 was like we got like a little bit of the race, like a teeny little bit of the race. And by the race I mean it was like 30 minutes of us reading banter back and forth between random characters, and then the race started and it was still just banter back and forth between random characters.
Oh yeah, and
Cream like dies or something.
Cream almost dies. Yeah,
And
but she
the
was like,
rules don't make any sense for what's going on. Because she's not allowed to get back.
because
up.
sometimes they're incorporating free like Riders 1 lore, and then Riders 0 gravity rules. Like they're using both rule sets, but those games have different rules, so it's like it was really hard to keep track.
and then the Babylon's Zeppelin starts like summoning a vortex of death or something, and then they have to get into it, and they get into it, and there's like a bunch of wind canisters in there that the Metal Sonics are using to
Yeah, I
do
forgot about the Metal
something.
Sonics.
They're doing
Yeah.
something. Tails is trying to like do something on the computer, but Wave is like FaceTiming him, telling him no, and then they're like arguing back and forth. And then Prologue 3 is more of is like the fight with the metal. Like the whole thing is just them fighting the Metal Sonic. And then what happens at the end? I should probably.
They just go back because apparently the Babylonians are dimension hopping.
I remember. So they literally just leave. Like the Babylon rogues just leave. They just.
But
dip.
it's like they're not just leave. They go to a different dimension.
And they
it
act
sounds
like they're never gonna see these people again.
Yeah,
They're always like it's been real fun. You know?
Yeah, Storm's like crying all the time, and like they like have like a honest talk about it, like in the Zeppelin, where they're like yeah, like we should have like. Yeah, we really did say goodbye, and we need to like address that. It's like it's really serious. I don't know if they are just dimension hopping everywhere and just
if it's
going
like they
on
can only,
adventures. I don't know.
Maybe it's like when they go to a dimension, once they leave, they can't come back or something.
Because they have confirmed that they are dimension hopping. Like they stored up all the energy to go to different dimensions, which is just, huh? That's
They're just in like. I imagine them in just like CO2 cylinders, like really big, like
yeah,
like cylinders, just
yeah.
in a giant like cargo hangar or something in this giant Zeppelin. Like, I don't know.
It's so weird.
But this is chapter 4, so we're starting the fanfiction now. We're done with the prologues, which like. I have a feeling these prologues are going to be very necessary information. In which case, like, they just shouldn't have been a prologue. But anyway, anything else before we start?
No. I think we're all caught up.
All right, then we will get into Sonic Riders many years later, Chapter 4, Lost and Found. Years have passed after the second Grand Prix, and not much changed for a while. People lived their lives the best they could. Eggman continued to make plans for world domination, but surprisingly, our heroes managed to not only win, but minimize collateral damage, not letting plans evolve into global crises by taking the fights to the evil scientists, with a few exceptions. New faces appeared to join the group, and some new relationships and bonds were forged. In Resume, things were looking up. Especially considering that Eggman disappeared from the radar for over 2 years. I'm already confused. What is happening?
Okay, so I think they're just like
But what, they're like fighting evil scientists? Wait, what,
Eggman.
Not letting plans evolve into global crises by taking the fight. Oh, to the
evil. Yeah.
Why did I read it as a plural? Okay. Never mind, I'm not confused anymore. Then everything changed. Eggman returned with a new and powerful weapon with the name of Infinite. Its first act was not only confront Sonic, but destroy him, disintegrate him, to be more specific, in front of a worldwide audience. Not only that, but Sonic's previous enemies like Zavik and Metal Sonic, and even reformed ones like Shadow and Chaos, had joined the forces of evil. Knuckles and the Echidnas, both the Knuckle Clan and the Nocturne Clan, led the... Please tell me that's like... Archie
I think that's
lore.
yeah.
I hope there's something called the Knuckle Clan that is
the Knuckle
led the resistance along many other allies. However, Tails wasn't one of them. A lot of people instantly called him a traitor, deserter, and coward. Hope just seemed to decrease as things were getting worse. Hold on.
You're looking up about the Nocturne Clan.
No, like I forgot how recent this was. So I'm just like. Infinite's in here, like
yeah.
But a silver lining appeared in a young Sonic and an extreme year rider named Rolls. We got an OC now. Rolls was a nobody as a hero and racer, but the young Sonic shaped him into the hero he really was. Soon enough, Sonic returned. No one was sure how, but they didn't give a damn since the world needed a hero. Soon, Shadow and Tails returned to the feud, but the damage was done. The public had lost a lot of faith in their so-called heroes. A lot of lives damaged, and some were gone for good. The toll was starting to become evident, varying from person to person. Not even Sonic maintained his goody two-shoes persona scratch-free, as he was forced to break his most important rule. What? He murdered Eggman! He murdered... It has been 5 years since that day. Life has returned to a more stable time. There have been many attempts to restore the most contaminated and destroyed areas of the world. Some have succeeded, others not so much. Here is when our story begins. Okay, this is what the scene that I am getting in my head from this description. Eggman nuked people. They keep talking about, like, devastation. Like, he had to have done some sort of, like, mass destruction of, like, every city in the world. And then Sonic just goes and kills him.
I think they're trying to, like, be like, oh, like how did we get here? Like how did his Tails being, like, a traitor and a coward, like they're trying to make us, you know, wonder and
or
question.
This could also just be, like,
and we're gonna find out
forces. Where it's like, it's supposed to be the events of forces, but if Sonic killed Eggman or something, I don't know.
What's the
like,
Nocturne clan?
I don't know, but Infinite's here, and, like, this, just like in Forces, like, the enemies are back,
right?
Like, enemies that he thought he destroyed, like Zavik, you know, even though he never destroyed Zavik.
I mean, there is roles, which is like an OC, which is what, like, the gimmick in Sonic Forces. You make your own OC.
Ooh, yeah.
So yeah, but, like, Tails being a, like, yeah, the coward part was right in Sonic Forces. He did absolutely nothing and was just cowering. But traitor and deserter.
Okay, but here's the thing. Okay, it was published 2018. So it's hard to tell when this chapter was, but in Sonic Prime, they kind of do that.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think Sonic Prime was out yet if this was, like, pre-2020. But, like, it was updated on August 27th, 2024. So it has, like some of these chapters will be recent, I think. So, so I think this is just, like, I think we got to read more to figure out what's going on. Yeah. It was just really weird, that whole thing. All right. By the way, that was all in italics. I think that was supposed to be, like a prelude to like a fourth prologue, kind of. All right. The area was destroyed. Buildings, roads, and other constructions were damaged. Entire pieces were missing from what seemed were the aftermath of explosions. Some were cut in half entirely. The lower areas had a weird purple coloration from the toxic gases. It was hard to believe, but this was once Westopolis, everyone's favorite level from Shadow the Hedgehog. Gun agents, both human and anthro, were on the scene, where heavy chemical... I think it's supposed to say wearing heavy chemical protection gear, all spreading themselves at different areas of the city. Among them, there were some large mechanical structures. They looked like some kind of volcano made of glass. Soon enough, these structures were set in the correct place and activated. At unison, they started draining all the toxicity of the air. Soon, the agents could remove their helmets. Among them, a very famous black hedgehog we all know. Okay, this is a general. Do you want to be the general?
Demolition Squad, it is your turn. Don't leave a single structure on foot.
The general barked orders on the communicator. It was obvious. Their job was to destroy everything. Shadow was part of said squadron. He would have loved to simply use his chaos powers to destroy everything in sight, but his superiors wouldn't let him have an emerald again. Not since the whole fake Shadow confusion that Infinite had left on the world. They had him on a leash, even if he would never admit it. Still, he was useful, especially in this dangerous environment. As some of the people tried to enter into one of the buildings, out of nowhere, some were kicked out. Large tentacles came from that same building and grabbed some more people. Other soldiers surrounded the building as they started to use their wispins to shot at the tentacles, as well of focusing on the bases of the structure, hoping for it to crash down on the monster. There were not fast enough as the capture soldiers desperately shoot at the tentacles, helplessly feeling how they were being dragged into the building. Little after the soldiers were out of sight, something like a metallical press sounded. The shouting stopped. Finally, the structure gave in, all of it falling on whatever that was. The soldiers hoped to have a moment to regain their strength, hoping that at least this monster was down. Suddenly, that thing was back, lifting pieces of debris through the sky. The thing was a giant purple jelly thing that seemed to be constantly melting. The jelly's back. It had tentacles and some giant horror movie-like series of teeth, all larger than your average anthro. The soldier kept shooting at it, but simply wasn't effective. With a fast move of its limbs, it crushed more soldiers, some dead in that very instant. "We need backup! We need backup!" one of the soldiers shouted on the communicator at the top of his lungs, darkness over him as the tentacle closing into him. Right before the hit landed, Shadow grabbed him and put him into a safer spot. The black hedgehog gave 180 once he had saved, directly running toward the monster. The crushing tentacles were easy to avoid, but the monster tried to hit him with a horizontal swipe. Shadow jumped it too and tried the homing attack on it. However, the monster opened its mouth and started shooting its teeth, which were rapidly replaced. Shadow did his best to try to avoid them, but a simple graze from one of them was enough to make him bleed. Changing tactics, he bounced off from a flying tooth. How big are these? To change his direction, knowing that entering in his mouth would be suicidal. Instead, he opted for attacking on his blank spots, several spin dashes entering, but none doing more than pissing his opponent as his squashy body absorbed most of the damage. Okay, this is getting tiresome, he thought. Someone hand me a burst weapon, Shadow shouted on the comm. For a second, he ran away from the monster, taking the desired wispin from his hand, and he went back right on the monster face. "Hey, ugly, want a piece of me? Take a bite," he shouted, a little part of him wincing since he could swear he sounded just like Sonic. "If the faker finds out, he will never let this go." The monster tried to hit Shadow, but he kept dodging and returned to his original spot after every dodge. The monster got upset enough to throw himself headfirst, which Shadow also avoided. He then used the homing attack, landing in what would be the creature's back of the neck. Then he activated the burst power and exploded, the monster's liquid leftovers spilling all over the place. Shadow rose, totally covered in goop. Some rapid spins and the dark hedgehog was clean. "Take 5. I think this is still him. Yep. "Take 5. I will check the surrounding buildings to see if any more monsters are around," he told personally to the captain of the squadron.
Look, Shadow, we are thankful for saving our asses out there, but you must be kept under vigilance,
he responded, not finishing because Shadow just ran away, the powerful zoom sound stopping the agent's speech. "I wasn't asking for permission," he answered on the communicators, already going into some of the buildings. The soldier was still dumbfounded at that moment. Mutated beings had appeared in these areas. People originally had hoped that there would be survivor on this areas, at least on the first year after Eggman's defeat. Teams brought medical equipment hoping to save someone, any life encountered. They met a terrible fate. The first group died instantly at the hands of a similar goop monsters that like the last one. The first attempt was a failure, but as their security and soldiers became better, they were finally able to save some people. It also ended awfully as the people who had being saved turned into said monsters fast, way before anyone could analyze and hope to stop this. Sometimes they remained normal for a while, enough time for their families to reunite with them, and then they morphed and, well, took them all together with it. So far, no person had ever avoided this fate. So, what would you do if you found a friend in this situation? Shadow just observed in horror as the person who he just found inside the building was none other than certain purple swallow, knocked out cold on the floor, her extreme gear at her side. He pondered it a bit. She was bound to turn into a monster at any sec. If he simply ignored her and destroyed the building with her inside, then no problem. No one would ever know about her, and he would avoid a lot of trouble that way. But could I look at her again in the eyes if I just kill like that? Shadow could not stop the thought. He also cursed himself internally, thinking he had actually gone soft. Giving them the gun is telling them to kill her, so that's not an option either. That leaves me... Ugh. There's never an easy choice with me. He cursed, then he grabbed Wave and carried her on his back. He ran as fast as he could, hoping to not be seen. Shadow was trying to improve his social image. That's a funny idea. And this stunt would likely cost him points. Nevertheless, he was just a few thousand miles from Mystic Ruins. He hoped for the possibility to get Tails, leave his package, and get back to help fast enough. However, as he continued to run, he couldn't help but notice something. He was going slower than in the beginning. The knocked swallow was starting to feel a lot heavier than what he expected. Is she getting heavier? That's what he thought, but as he continued, he felt his leg burning horribly, forcing him to walk. Soon, even walking was painful. Am I getting tired? He thought, each step feeling like an agonizing chore. He had reached the designated place, but now he had to climb a crazy large staircase to reach the place. Fuck me. Still armed with decision, he started the difficult task. Each step was painful. He needed a second for each step to gather enough strength for the next. The weight on his back only increased, feeling right now as he was carrying the world on his shoulders. Sweat continued to flow through his body, almost to the point that it could look like rain. He had never been so relieved to finally reach the end of the stairs. Fuck this! He threw Wave to the floor, not caring if it was hurt or not. Walking like a zombie, only moved by willpower, he knocked on the door. After that simple act, his body gave up, falling to the floor at his side. Tails came out a little later. He looked down, looking at Shadow's cold body.
Shadow?
Was all he said. Looking a little further, his sight also found his infamous rival.
God damn it.
And that was chapter 4.
Wow. This took such an unexpected turn.
Now I know why the author said rated M just in case. This is the just in case.
This is giving me a lot of Sonic Destruction vibes.
Sonic Destruction.
Like, everything is just destroyed. Everyone is swearing. Everyone is just like...
And there's like monsters now.
There's some monsters.
There's jelly monsters.
There's jelly. There's goop monsters. Like...
Wave is not like, in another dimension.
What if, like... Yeah... Second time. Second time. What was I saying? Oh yeah, what if like the jelly that Vector made like actually was radioactive?
I was literally thinking
like...
that. I was just like, what if like Eggman's nukes like took the jelly and made it radioactive or something?
Wow, this is so dark. What the heck? Like, remember when we were like in Sonic Riders?
Remember when we were in Sonic Riders and the chapters were entirely dialogue?
Yeah, and everyone was just like having friendly banter and like people were tripping over each other. Yeah, that was fun. What the heck is happening here?
Okay, so Shadows with Gun. Apparently there's an incident with fake Shadow and a Chaos Emerald, so they don't give him a Chaos Emerald, but he still just ignores everyone. Goes off on his own to fight monsters. Finds Wave in a building, and takes Wave all the way to Mystic Ruins from Westopolis, which I assume is a long way, and then gets tired and passes out. That's what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
That is what happened, but it took like 15 minutes to read all that. I think we have time for a second one.
Do you think so?
We've only been recording for 34 minutes, and half of that was us talking about not the fanfiction. So I think we should throw in a second.
I mean, yeah,
chapter.
this next one is mostly dialogue.
It's mostly dialogue, so it should be around the same length. So.
All right. Yeah, no, I'm ready.
We will continue with Chapter 5, Long Time No See. Shadow had the worst headache in his life, raising himself slowly from the medical bed. He realized... Of course Tails has a medical bed. He realized that he had fainted for whatever reason, meaning he hadn't returned a gun for who knows how long. This is going to be fun to explain.
You won't need an explanation.
Tails said while still working on his computer, not even bothering to look away from the machine. He was wearing a large lab coat.
Is that one of your robot duplicates?
That's adorable. I love the idea of Tails in like an oversized lab coat.
It's like the long
yeah,
the sleeves are like they're like
fit.
dangling on the floor.
Shadow eyes opened a lot when he said that, though only for half a second. The murderous Eggman robot that if glitches will destroy the entire gun facility? He sounded no different than any other time, but he was actually concerned about the people well-being.
Those ones? You really appreciate your job, don't ya?
Tails commented. Shadow only looked at him.
Don't worry. Yet. Your physicist said you will stay in bed for the next few days until you can get some mystical waters.
And why would I need that? He asked with his eyes half closed.
Take a look at your back quills.
Ooh, he's radioactive. Tails answered while handing him a small mirror. Shadow did as asked. He was taken by surprise by what he found. Many of his back spikes turned pinker the closer they were to tips. Its texture didn't look all that different from pink meat you might find in the market. What the hell happened to me?
It was Wave.
Shadow rose his eyes at the fox. And rose indeed, since Tails, fully standing, was about a foot taller than your average anthro. Fox genes were generous with him.
I took my time to analyze both Wave and you while unconscious and things. Well, it got crazy fast. Wave organism is expelling some kind of weird hormone capable of damaging you at a cellular level. You back area is the most damaged one because it was the one in direct contact with her body. But your entire cell population is being affected by her even at this distance. Take a look at this.
He said, pulling a bottle with some kind of dust in it. Now I'm upset that he's like an adult now,
he's like
and
smart.
like tall. He's not in a big lab coat. Whatever. What is this supposed to be?
Some of your quills.
Shadow's eyes opened a lot. He hated being taken by surprise, especially now that Tails had a shit-eating grin right now. The fox sat down again, pressing enter on the machine, showing a video. It showed Tails leaving the quills in the bottle completely sealed just a few feet away from the swallow. After that, things sped up, and in what looked like instants, the quills rapidly degenerated, turning into the black dust now contained. How long it took to do that was the only thing in Shadow's mind at the moment.
A little more than an hour. It was like nothing I've ever seen before, or like anything that should be in a swallow's organism.
What in a swallow's organism? Tails then went back to his computer, introducing more orders into the machine.
That led me to believe we would find something else that shouldn't be there.
Suddenly on screen, a diagram of Wave's body appeared. One final touch on the keyboard and a radar-like circle started appearing on the bird's brain. He waited for Shadow to say something since he thought he would find it familiar. Am I supposed to say anything right now? Shadow asked a minute after Tails did that. Tails remained silent for a moment, realizing that he wasn't in the room with the rest. Realizing that he wasn't in the room with the rest when the big reveal happened.
I thought you weren't there.
He apologized. Wait, still you.
Okay, not sure why I thought you were.
Said Nax just to himself.
This is exactly how Cosmo's brain looked when we discovered that she was a spy for the Metarex.
Dude, everyone is here.
Gosh. Oh.
Tails looked serious at that moment, even respectful. The horror and pain of losing Cosmo still stung him, even after so many years. If Chris Thorndike shows up, I'm gonna riot. Shadow remembered them all too well. He also remembered how coldly he chased both the girl and the fox that time on the ship, thinking it was the best solution to the situation. He really wasn't happy for his past list of atrocities. But you can do something about it this time, right?
I'm a mechanic. This is out of my area of expertise, but not even the best neurosurgeon can assure us that she would come out alive.
So, he's a mechanic, but he has a medical bed.
Yeah, and he's like doing all these organism testing.
He has like an MRI scanner or whatever. Like,
out of the area of expertise.
But it's out of his area. Maybe he's just so smart that this is not expert level. Like this is like base level, and he just knows how to do the basic medical. But to us, it's just like a lot. What about the possibility of her becoming a monster out of nowhere?
What are you talking about?
Tails asked, finally not prepared to hear what he heard. I found her on a toxic site, the ones that Eggman nuked where monsters only come out. Don't tell me you didn't notice. Shadow had not finished before Tails continued to introduce keys to the machine.
I read several diagnoses. There were some things found on these people, symptoms of the transformation. I found nothing,
he said, but still felt necessary to run a second diagnostic. However, it also found nothing.
Nothing. Almost like she wasn't there.
Then I will take her to gun, keep her on check. Out of problem.
Sure, take her to the organization with data on every person on the world and close to you until you really become dust for overexposure. Sure, it is the best road to take.
Tails responded full of sarcasm. You think you have a better idea?
She is staying with me.
He almost sounded bored. He also looked, since he was supporting his head with his arm. That's such a better idea, Shadow answered, rolling his eyes. He still could see just how serious Tails was about this. Wait, you can't just do that, Shadow said, grabbing the fox by his coat. Tails responded by grabbing Shadow in the opposite area of his elbow. Instantly, the black hedgehog felt like he was about to faint. Motherfucker, he said, his voice getting lower just as his body was going again to the floor. Tails was wearing a smile during the whole thing.
You are a head thug, just like Sonic. I can stop you easily.
No, you can't. He said. He then stood up again, taking a moment to fix his clothing before running into the next room where Wave was on a medical bed. He has 2 medical beds, tied to the chair by mechanical restraints. He had also taken away her golden bracelet and hollow pendant. For anyone, that golden bracelet would have looked like a trinket, but Tails instantly recognized it as an Ark of the Cosmos.
Oh.
On the other room, Wave opened her eyes, still not fully awake. She tried to move, but then she noticed the metal bars holding her in place. This instantly woke her up. She tried to struggle to the restraints, but it was too tight. She searched for her tools, but she had nothing on her, just a hospital gown. Fear suddenly started to take over her as her surrounding didn't show anything. No window, no people, no noise, no anything. She was sure she needed to get out of here fast. He has hospital gowns, but he's not an expert.
What room is this though? With like, what room is this? It's like remember like the Okay, so this is his lab in Mystic Ruins. Do you remember what that thing looked like?
It's like one room.
Just like it's just one room shack with a giant hangar and airway, like or a runway. So it's like, what room is this? This is so weird.
Also, reading one sentence ahead, he has a doctor coat. He was in a lab coat, now he's in a doctor coat.
Not in his area of expertise, may I remind you.
Bro literally is a doctor.
He has a PhD degree.
He's a PhD, and he's like, it's not my area of expertise. This is very, very interesting, though. You should put the metal pipe sound effect here.
Okay, sure thing.
Ka-klung. A metallic sound was here, and the door opening, a certain fox with a doctor coat coming out of it. He also brought a pair of blue and white bracelets. Oh, I was right.
Yep.
Play it cool, Wave. Oh.
Yeah.
So handsome, what are you up to? You know, couple bracelet are not my thing. Get us a pair Get us a pair of handcuffs and I can show you how to have fun? Unless you are gay, I can find a pair of guys who I bet will fit your fantasies, she commented, hoping to mask any weakness. He ignored her completely, only putting a bracelet on her arm. At that moment, the pair of tails from the man were shown, leaving Wave speechless for a moment. Shorty? She couldn't believe it. He was taller than her. No childish look on his face. His eyes looking steelier. Everything in him said strong, calm, and collected.
In the flesh! Oh, not so shorty anymore.
Let go of me, you freaky bastard! Tails silently complied. That wasn't too bad. Now take this thing off and give me back my things, she ordered.
Yeah, no.
He answered, also wearing the other bracelet. I was not asking for them.
I don't care what you demand or not.
If you think I will do what you want, then...
Wave, I don't have time for this. All you need to know is that you are staying with me because you were found in a radioactive area. Thanks to that, you could become a monster at any moment, and I imagine you don't want that to happen. Gosh, I'm spitting all over my screen.
It's fine.
You can't even go anywhere else because God is probably the only organization with the technology to save you from that. But they have orders of killing anyone infected. So you either stay with me or you die.
He answered in a monotonous and fast tone, really hoping to get that as fast as he could. Wave remained silent for a moment, blinking in a bit of a daze. If you think I believed a single word you said, then you are absolutely nuts. You have lost it, Shorty. I am out of here, she said, trying to walk away. Suddenly, she felt something holding her arm, the one that had the bracelet. She looked back, but Tails was at a good distance, with his arm with his own bracelet lit up. The fox made a sudden movement with it, and the swallow felt the yank, almost falling because of it.
Like I said, I don't care what you demand.
Tails said with a grin. This is evil Tails from Sonic Prime. This is literally...
I love this.
What the heck is this?
Electric handcuffs, perfect for keeping people at my reach, but I can lengthen the range so we don't have to worry about uncomfortable situations.
My, Tails, you looking all mature there, but you are clearly just still a little kid. You can't stand any uncomfortable situation, she tried to mock. But if you think I can't simply escape from this when I have my chance, she tried to stay defiant. Tails just threw her hollow pendant back. Wave looked at it, knowing something suspicious was going on. What's it? What is this? Sorry, what is the trick?
To show you how futile it is to resist.
He explained. Wave took the challenge a little to heart, trying to hack her bracelet with her pendant. Just a few moments when she entered to it, a countdown started on the bracelet, starting from 20 and going down. We've stopped everything at 17, the countdown also stopping.
It starts with interference. If the countdown goes to 0, well, you have to become lefty. The same will happen if you try any other means of getting rid of it, like blowing it up or maybe phasing through it just without the countdown.
He explained, moving closer to Wave. The girl looked up at him, her eyes full with horror. She couldn't believe how, but even if Tails' body was nothing like Eggman's, the expression he was wearing, a wicked smile too similar to Eggman's when he was at his best.
Is this me?
Yeah.
Now, what will you do?
Wave didn't want to give up to him, but he really left her option less for now. She just needed to play his game until she found an opening. Geez, Shorty, don't get all that intense. Guess I will stay at your mediocre hotel. If something Wave was thankful about herself was that even at the most dire, she could still hide her fear and doubts, looking confident and strong.
You're not staying here for free. You're working for me.
Wave was ready to reply, but Tails just beat her to it.
I run an extreme gear workshop on the upper level from this structure. Even after all those years you lost, I am confident you will still be a competent partner. Heck, you will also get up to speed to the modern design of extreme gears, so you should be thanking me.
Tails said with clear arrogance. The swallow growled a little, not liking his tone and mannerism. but she also remembered to not lose her cool. However, one thing that lingered on her mind. All the years I lost?
Don't give long enough, sorry.
Tails said, not only imitating a line she used on him after a few days they met, but also imitating her voice the best he could. Did you have to... Oh, great. Did you have to sound so gay? Wave quipped. After a few seconds of silence, she still asked, how long have I been gone?
I am now 20 years old. I can do math from... You can do the math from there.
Was all Tails said. No quip, no snarky tone. Just a straight answer. Wave needed a minute to process what he just said. No one would blame her. According to her, she had just been traveling through dimensions for 2 years. She knew perfectly that time moved very differently from dimension to dimension, but she was certainly not expecting disappearing for a decade.
Whoa.
The lore. We're getting the lore now.
I was right.
So
she said
they
like
just go around different dimensions.
Well, I was right. She made a comment of him like, you have to be like 10 years, like you have to age 10 years in order to get to my level.
Oh,
and now it's 10 years later. I was right.
Convenient.
That was foreshadow. That was foreshadowing. Oh, this is so interesting. This is so.
We've got evil Tails.
This is honestly exactly what I expected like a serious Sonic fanfiction to be like. This is perfect. Oh my gosh.
Evil Tails, who has multiple different outfits that he can just change into
Has
instantly.
a giant like lab
Has
on
like a
Mystic
multi-story
Ruins.
structure with an extreme gear workshop on the top floor.
Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. But like that's all we know.
Yeah,
That's all we know so far. I mean, look, yeah, the Metarex are canon. Cosmo is canon. Chris Thorndyke is probably canon.
I hope not. I really hope he's not. Or like he dies or something. What if they just brought up?
What if he
in,
is a gun
passing,
soldier?
A passing sentence that like, oh yeah, he was like killed by gun or something.
Well, he said he was enlisted in the gun, like to protect the people, but then he died.
What if he's like a Johnny from like Metal Gear situation where he's just like the worst soldier ever, and like everyone has to keep saving him, and then he finally takes off his mask and like, Chris Thorndyke, that was you, and he's like, I just wanted to be noticed by you. Where?
That's when he starts to cry. It's like, after
crying.
being serious and killing a bunch of people, he's like, Sonic, I just want to be with you, Sonic.
How your Chris voice is the same as your Fat Tails voice. Also, the Sonic Heroes Tails voice is perfect for this because it's so funny. Oh my gosh, this is getting really good.
We got plenty left. We got plenty of chapters left too.
I want to keep going, but
we gotta stop.
We gotta stop. This has been episode 59 of Pick a Fic. Thank you for joining us. If you liked the podcast, share it with someone. That is the best way we can grow and expand our empire to become the fanfiction monopoly we strive to be.
We're already the #1 fanfiction podcast.
Yeah, but we need to be the only fanfiction related thing.
Yeah,
like we need to buy fanfiction.net. We need to buy what's the other one? AO3.
Yep.
We need to buy
DeviantArt.
DeviantArt. Yeah,
yep.
that's we need to buy Tumblr. We need to buy all of them. That's our goal. So spread the word so our empire can grow.
And we can get a Mr. Beast collab.
we can get Mr. Beast to write a fan fiction for us that we can read on the show.
What are the Mr. Beast fan fictions? I need to read that. Ooh. I wonder if there's one from our era when we watched him. Like 2018 and
like
stuff.
fan fictions that are like someone who couldn't make a worst intro, so they wrote a worst intro out on a paper and like Mr. Beast reacting to it.
Chris is there, the Vikings there. Chandler wasn't super popular yet, so yeah. I know too much about Mr. Beast. I need to stop.
We both do. So yeah, with that, we will see you next week with something Micah picks out. Have a good night /day /whatever.
Bye bye.